Future Riddim. Nobody watching this video needs an introduction to this genre. And if you do, well, Future Riddim is what I would think melodic rhythm was if I didn't know what melodic rhythm was. Because it's literally rhythm that is melodic. You know, I feel like I've made this joke before.
Color bass is kind of what I would think melodic dubstep was if I didn't know what melodic dubstep was.
Huh. Anyways, it's basically just semi-distorted melody-driven rhythm. By the way, the song in this video is out right now on all major streaming platforms. Link in the description. Let's get into it. I made the drop first sometime last year, but we're starting with the intro. The most important aspect of Future Riddim is the melody. Without a good and memorable melody, your song is trash! I used my patented simple but effective method, which involves creating a melody that's simple enough to be remembered while still being satisfying enough so you actually want to remember it. The main melody is just walking up the D-sharp Dorian scale, starting from the second with some extra notes down here for flair. This is just played with a modified sine wave, and this reverb slowly fades away. These chords are incredibly simple, just playing the bass line with an added fifth, and some extra notes here. This synth is a combination of a bell I made in Serum along with a marimba for a wooden kind of sound. Playing the same chord as before is my every instrument pad, using every instrument sample I had in a phase plant, and of course it's got a ton of delay and reverb on it to wash it out. Next, I've got an ARP playing whatever notes I decided to throw in, made from a toy piano sample with a ton of delay and random panning. I've got a simple respace for the sub. And some cool ambience and effects to establish the setting, if you will. Full intro, this is at 140 BPM, by the way. The buildup is mostly the same with some stuff filtering and fading out, along with the second lead melody. This is accompanied by an incredibly simple patch playing the earlier chords. And a labs choir. From there, I've got some build-up drums. Custom riser. And the drop lead fading in with some reverb. And most importantly, the drop. I used only the best of kicks and snares. And this thing, always gotta have that thing. I've got cymbals with not a lick of sidechain. Together. I've got an incredibly complex sub pattern. Here's my sub patch, by the way. It's got a serum effects on it, giving it the volume LFO, but I'll talk more about that momentarily. I've got two randomized patches as padding layers. The first one from a vital with the randomness on the note and LFO speed with a delay. And the other one is like the same thing with some crystallizers at a higher octave. I've got this chord layer with Serum's Chaos Modulator on the LFO controlling volume, giving it a jittery kind of sound. This also has delay on it. And the more important chord layer being a simple FM growl with a retune to keep it in key. And kind of lastly for the stack, I've got the penultimate ingredient of the lead synth, which is just a Crooker's bass with a square wave as the higher octave oscillator. Now, all of this would sound like crap if not for the final chain, whose main component is the serum effects. This houses the volume LFO, as well as a bit of filtering for some extra flan. This also has a sub running through it, so I can distort it all together with this free clip. In this first half, I've cut out the volume temporarily for some filler basses. This one is just some frequency shifted bells, and this one is just a weird growl with a retune and reverb. The second half removes this with a changed melody. This melody, while being slightly more complex than before, retains its simplicity by repeating this melodic structure, always preceded by a relatively simple quarter note structure as a sort of call and response. The second drop just swaps the first and second half of the first drop, by the way, for some very mild variety, keeping it simple enough for rhythm. Finally, the break, second build, and outro are pretty much just copy and pasted from the intro. Once again, this song is out right now on all major streaming platforms by the name of Iolite Design. The name I decided by the cover art, made in Blender like all of my custom cover art besides these two. This includes Soundcloud this time, which I'll be making strategic uploads to because Next Pro is too much money. Anyways, that's all for now. Like and subscribe. Stream my song. Peace.